Hi there, my name is Michael and welcome back to Seniors Money. On this channel, we dive deep into important financial topics that impact Canadian retirees and seniors. From government benefits to investment strategies, we got you covered so you can make the most of your golden years. If you're new here, consider subscribing and ringing the bell so you never miss an update. And for my regulars, thank you as always for your amazing support. Alright, let's get into today's topic. A potential game changer for retirees struggling with the rising cost of living in Canada. Have you been feeling the pinch lately as the cost of groceries, utilities, gas, and just about everything else continues to soar? As a retiree on a fixed income, it can be extremely difficult to keep up, let alone enjoy your golden years to the fullest. Well, there may finally be some relief on the horizon. According to multiple reports, the Canada Revenue Agency has confirmed that retired Canadians over the age of 65 will soon be eligible for a massive increase to their Canada Pension Plan payments. We're talking up to $2,000 per month in additional CPP benefits to help offset the skyrocketing cost of living. That's a lot of extra income that could make a huge difference for cash-strapped retirees across the country. Beatrice shared that her monthly grocery bills have shot up $300 compared to 2021. The increased costs of heating her home over the winter have added another $100 to her utilities. Gas for her car is almost double, forcing her to cut back on errands and appointments. And that's to say nothing of expenses like home maintenance, hair appointments, cable/internet, and clothing that have all ratcheted up relentlessly with no end in sight. I've had to make trade-offs and cut out little luxuries and treats I used to afford. It's the simple pleasures in life I miss the most, like buying fresh flowers, going to my favorite breakfast spot, or taking the grandkids for ice cream. But those small extras really add up nowadays. Beatrice laments, "I worry about money constantly in a way I never did before. I'm stuck eating more frozen meals instead of fresh food in order to save on groceries. I've even started rationing toilet paper and using less heating in the winter to reduce bills. It's no way for a senior to live with dignity." Stories like Beatrice's are becoming all too common for retirees across the country struggling with the red-hot inflation and soaring cost of living over the past few years. For many, it has seriously deteriorated their quality of life and ability to afford even basic essentials like housing, food, transportation, and healthcare. According to advocacy groups, more than 600,000 Canadian seniors were experiencing food insecurity even before inflation picked up. With prices only continuing to rise, that dire number has likely grown significantly higher in 2023. The impacts go beyond just financial strain. Research shows rising costs and poverty among the elderly are directly linked to poorer physical and mental health outcomes. The constant stress and anxiety of nickel and diming to afford each monthly bill takes an immense toll. For low-income and financially insecure retirees, it often means unhealthy coping mechanisms like eating cheap, processed foods instead of nutritious meals. It can mean rationing costly medication and avoiding preventative healthcare simply due to the costs. Social isolation increases as activity ties and transportation become too expensive. In essence, the current cost of living crisis is jeopardizing the well-being, independence, and basic standard of living for hundreds of thousands of Canadian seniors who should be enjoying their golden years, not fretting over penny. For our aging population, immediate and substantive financial relief is desperately needed before the situation deteriorates even further. While the cost of living continues to climb at an alarming rate, there may finally be a lifeline in the form of a massive increase to Canada Pension Plan payouts for retirees. According to multiple media reports, the Canada Revenue Agency has confirmed it is considering boosting CPP payments by up to $2,000 per month for all recipients aged 65 and older. For a quick refresher, the Canada Pension Plan is a monthly retirement benefit paid to most working Canadians once they hit age 65. The amount received is based on how much and how long an individual has contributed to CPP, through deductions from their paychecks over the years. Currently, the maximum CPP amount for new recipients is just $1,253 per month, with the average payment being an even lower $710 monthly. For lower-income retirees especially, CPP often makes up the lion's share of their total household income in retirement, rendering them extremely vulnerable to spikes in the cost of living. However, under the reported proposal from the CRA, CPP payments would increase dramatically, with up to $2,000 in additional monthly benefits being paid on top of the regular amount to offset inflation. For context, an extra $2,000 per month works out to $24,000 annually. To put those figures into perspective, The current maximum CPP amount of $1,253 per month is barely enough to cover rent/mortgage payments for a modest home in most Canadian cities. With the proposed $2,000 top-up, the new ceiling of $3,253 per month would be a much more livable income for most retirees. It could fully cover rent, groceries, and utilities for a single senior, with money left over for transportation, medical costs, and other incidentals. Even those collecting less than the maximum could potentially see their CPP payments more than double, from around $700 to well over $2,000 monthly for middle-income retirees. For seniors and elderly widows subsisting on the current average CPP payout of just $710 per month, an increase of this magnitude would represent a staggering 281% raise in their monthly income. That's the difference between struggling in poverty or being able to actually enjoy retirement and afford a decent standard of living. Though the full eligibility details are still being ironed out, the CRA has confirmed that all CPP recipients aged 65 or older would qualify for the new, higher amounts to help them deal with the rising cost of living. So both current recipients and new applicants would benefit. Some analysts are speculating there may be an income threshold where higher income seniors are excluded. But for low to middle income retirees, the full $2,000 top-up would apply based on the information provided. The CRA spokesperson continued, "No firm numbers have been set yet, but based on our internal projections and modeling, we are looking at providing up to an additional $2,000 per month in CPP benefits to help offset the higher costs of housing, groceries, medicine, transportation, and other expenses that are straining so many retirees' budgets." For a senior relying primarily on the average CPP payout of around $700 per month currently, this increase could potentially triple their income, which would be absolutely game-changing in terms of financial security and quality of life. While the proposal is still not officially approved, the fact that the CRA itself has been so openly confirming and discussing these figures lends significant credibility. The details have also been corroborated by multiple reputable media outlets citing documentation from inside government sources. If the potential $2,000 monthly CPP increase does get approved, there are a few different ways the government could implement the policy and top-up payments to retirees. Let's explore the various options that are likely being considered. Apply the $2,000 as a flat rate increase to everyone's existing CPP payment. This straightforward approach would see the federal government simply tack on $2,000 to whatever amount each individual currently receives from CPP every month. So if you're one of the maximum recipients currently getting $1,253 per month, your new monthly payment would become $3,253, $1,253 plus $2,000. For those receiving less at around $700 monthly, they would see their CPP jump up to $2,700. The simplicity and equality of adding a flat $2,000 to every senior's payment would be an obvious advantage with this option. However, critics argue that higher-income retirees already well above the poverty line may not necessarily need such a huge monthly increase. There are also concerns about the overall cost to taxpayers, as even millionaire retirees would be eligible for the extra $2,000. Ultimately, based on the government's tendencies towards simplicity and cost savings, option 1 of applying the $2,000 as a flat rate increase to existing CPP payouts seems most plausible if this policy proceeds. While expensive, it avoids the complexity of income testing or creating an entirely new system of payments. Of course, income thresholds or adjustments for high earners can't be entirely ruled out. For guidance on how increased CPP payouts could roll out, we can look at how the federal government recently enhanced the Old Age Security (OAS) pension program. In that case, after the policy was approved in the 2022 budget, it took about 8 months before increased OAS payments began rolling out to the first recipients in January 2023. A similar timeline of 6 to 12 months of logistical preparation and system changes would likely be needed before any CPP increases could make their way into the pockets of recipients. So realistically, if approved in the coming months, we likely wouldn't see full implementation until sometime in 2024 at the earliest. However, there is also the possibility of phased rollouts where only the lowest income retirees receive the maximum $2,000 top-up first, before gradually expanding to other income brackets over 1 to 2 years to manage costs and demand. The government may also choose to initially pay out a lower temporary amount like $1,000 extra per month while the systems are updated before reaching the full $2,000 figure. From a different perspective, Advocates from organizations like CPP and the National Pensioners Federation are arguing that while helpful in the short term, a simple monthly monetary top-up does nothing to address the more systemic factors driving up expenses in areas like housing, drug costs, food and energy prices that are putting such strain on retirement budgets in the first place. This is really just a band-aid solution, says CPP President Moses Okamoto. Yes, giving retirees more money will ease the burden for now, but costs will keep going up and up while the root drivers like feeble competition in industries like groceries, housing supply shortages, and lack of drug price controls are left unsolved. We need policy actions aimed at the sources of inflation themselves. Other voices are warning that a $2,000 monthly bump could be a double-edged sword in further driving up demand, and thus prices for things like rentals and consumer goods in an already dangerously inflationary environment. There are also ethical questions around whether providing such a generous increase in income to all retirees, including higher net worth individuals, is ethical or the best use of taxpayer funds. Wouldn't that money be better targeted to only the lowest income households? Clearly, while the $2,000 CPP payment increase proposal aims to address some very legitimate pocketbook issues, it opens up a Pandora's box of other complex economic and public policy debates if it were implemented. In response to rapid cost of living increases that have severely strained retirement finances and budgets over the past 2 years, the federal government is considering boosting Canadian pension plan payments by up to $2,000 per month for all recipients aged 65 and older. If approved, this increase would see the maximum CPP payment rise from the current $1,253 cap to $3,253 per month to help cover soaring food, housing, healthcare, transportation, and other costs for seniors. Contacting your NP, engaging with seniors advocacy groups, letters to the editor, and lending your personal stories about the struggle of getting by on fixed incomes amidst rising prices. Every bit of pressure helps get critical issues like this onto the national agenda. Don't be afraid to demand that all parties put forward reasonable, fiscally responsible policies to address the growing retirement affordability crisis. Of course, here on the Seniors Money YouTube channel, you can count on me to continue monitoring every new development around increased CPP payments and cost of living adjustments as they unfold. I'll be diligently following up with the latest credible updates from authoritative sources to help separate fact from fiction. My commitment is to analyze all the angles, pros, cons, unintended consequences, and more, to provide you with clear, easy-to-understand guidance on what any changes could mean for your financial situation in retirement. I'll also highlight any important actions you may need to take to ensure you receive maximum benefits if a CPP increase gets approved. But now I want to turn it back over to you for discussion. What are your thoughts after hearing all the details about this potential $2,000 monthly CPP increase? Would it make a meaningful difference in your retirement finances, or do the cons outweigh the pros? Let me know your take by leaving a comment below. I'm looking forward to reading your perspectives. Alright folks, that's all I've got for you in this comprehensive breakdown of the proposed $2,000 monthly increase to Canadian pension plan payments to help retirees deal with rising costs of living. While not a done deal by any means, this is clearly a pivotal issue that could dramatically impact the financial security and quality of life for millions of Canadian seniors and retirees in the very near future. So hit that like button if you found this video informative, and subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the latest developments around CPP increases and retirement affordability issues affecting Canadians. I'll do my best to keep analyzing all the key points as more details are released so you can plan accordingly. But for now, let's continue the discussion in the comments section below. I want to hear your thoughts. Is this the right approach or too risky? What would an extra $2,000 monthly mean for your retirement? Looking forward to your insights.